Or so, if that's alright with you guys.
Yeah, of course.
But we'll see. Nice.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Couldn't dress up more. I've been in tracking today because it's fucking cold. Don't want to turn the heat. Don't want to turn the heat.
I didn't know we were
on
getting
for more
recorded. I've better dressed up a bit
I
more.
know.
I've got a pint ring on my jeans now.
Sorry, black and white.
So you guys are talking about this friend you had who makes sort of dad jokes. Yeah, what's your what do you think that's about? Why do you think people make those kind of jokes?
Dad jokes. Funny, innit?
It's the most British response ever.
Funny, innit? Funny, innit?
It's like it's a type of humour like everyone hates, but like it'll always get a laugh. Do you know what I mean? Like,
We like it, I think.
yeah,
I
we like it. People have more of an acquired taste for it. I think you'll always find with anything like that, like there'll always be someone who you get a laugh out of. 'Cause it's like a universal thing. Like even if it's bad, it's funny because it's kind of a win-win.
You love to hate it. It's one of those things.
Yeah, you love to hate it and you hate it.
Yeah, it's Ambrose our bassist, so whenever we're sort of prepping for a gig or loading in or sound checking, it's always like the right moment. Consistent, yeah.
It's so consistent. It's constant.
What's the best thing? So when we're concentrating on something, like band-wise or anything, Ambrose will just pipe in everything. He'll just chime in out of nowhere. Like he won't say anything, and it's just dad jokes.
Yeah.
Funny.
How long have you had? So you two are the kind of the backbone of the band, I'm presuming. And
Yeah.
You've had other people sort of. So how long have you had the bassist for?
So we got together 2017.
60, though.
No, because I was 16, so I think it was
17, yeah.
Yeah, 2017. So we've
Yeah.
been doing this shit for over 5 years, the two of
Yeah.
us.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Try.
Keep putting up with you for 5 years.
Sorry, I should probably get rid of expletives if this is going online.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, we've been doing this for like 5 years. Robbie wanted to start a band, and we had a mutual friend, and he wanted a singer. I say.
Yeah, big up Alan Wardman.
Yeah, Alan Wardman.
Yeah.
What a G.
Yeah, fair play to her.
But yeah, so they put us in contact with each other, and then we met for a band rehearsal. The bassist showed up, the drummer never did.
Yeah, you overslept, I think. Just didn't show.
Yeah,
Still
we
don't
never
notice this
played
day,
it,
yeah. No.
But anyway, we didn't. The bassist, lovely guy, he's doing his own thing. We didn't particularly gel with him, so we just started writing songs together for like 2 years and started doing open mic nights. Started gigging just the two of us.
Yeah. Because we couldn't find a bassist or a drummer to fill in for those two for a long time.
No.
And it got to the point where we'd written a decent bank of songs and we just thought, screw it, let's go on stage, just the two of us, 2 acoustic guitars, and did our first gig together in 2019?
Yeah, September 2019 at
2019.
the Porto in Leeds, which is a bar. It's by the Corn Exchange, if you know Leeds at all.
It's quite niche.
It's very niche.
Very niche.
But yeah, just this little bar, Atlanta House, which is a band that was that has like been one of the sort of staple acts of the Leeds scene for like a long time.
Many, when I was going to
Yeah,
gigs.
same.
They were lovely as well. They're probably the best first act we could have asked to play.
Yeah,
really.
definitely.
They were really supportive. They gave us a shout out after on their set, saying, Champagne on Rock's first gig, having given them a big hand. They did really well. We were really nervous when we got there.
Oh, wow.
So
shit.
yeah. Shaking. You were shaking. You were shaking.
No, I was. Well, yeah, I mean, we both were. Like,
Yeah.
we've done a couple of open mics, but it's
It's different.
yeah, definitely. Like, I've done loads of performing throughout my lifetime, like doing like theatre and stuff as well. But like that first time, I was so nervous because like it's different when you're putting your own material out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just your performance you're putting out to be judged. It's like everything you've done to make that material as well. So it's like
It's your emotional process that goes into songwriting. Like, you are putting yourself out there. Like, I don't know about other writers, but I know for a fact for a lot of writers and ourselves, it's a big emotional process. It's part of
definitely.
it's getting judged, which is quite scary.
Yeah, definitely. But then we did that for a few years, and then just over a year ago, did we decide to go full band?
Yeah, we started off doing half and half. We we kept this first half of the set set acoustic,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then we had a band join us on for the rest of it.
Okay.
So that was in November time last year.
Yeah, so that was, we did R-Fest at Retro with Dusty Bob. We did that for the first time and did a half and half set. And we really enjoyed doing just two of the things, like come and do like open mic nights with gigs and bands and stuff, because like we still loved doing stuff like that, but the full band thing got such a good reception. Like everyone said, like it just like took the songs that they'd heard before that we just went to, it was like a whole other level. So we did a couple half and half sets, and then the last half and half set we did was in March 2020 when we headlined the Eagle Inn, which was like our first show.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we weren't support acts, like it was our show with other people on the bill with us, and that sold out, and that was amazing, wasn't it?
That was surreal. I felt like I was in a dream, because we hadn't released anything by that point, and to get people dancing along, because the band added so much to that, like,
Yeah,
when you've got
exactly.
the beat going behind it, it's fun to have people sort of jamming along. And there's a point where I think we played Golden Hour, which was really, really cool, and I'll never forget this. And the whole room, it's quite a quiet song, it's more of a ballady one, so it's a little bit slower, and like the whole room, there was a couple of people talking for about the first 20 seconds, and then someone from the back, I think, shushed, and the whole room went quiet. I'll never ever forget that.
But yeah, it was pretty surreal, and like that was like that full band experience for us was, I think, so impactful. Like it was like, right, it's not just a two-piece anymore. Like people have come and seen and given such positive feedback and responded so well to having a full band behind these songs that we write, that it was kind of a point of almost no return, really.
It brought the songs alive.
Yeah.
It's what they were always supposed to be, and I think we'd always said, we'd try and bring the energy of a full band, but it just does. It's just a different thing completely.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always fun doing stripped back acoustic sets. Like, they have their own charm. But yeah, performing with the band is really fun. It's what we're here to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think there's only so far you can go with acoustic sets. I mean, I really love it, and it's really fun to play, and it can make the song sound different. I think, especially with your style, it's like, I think it's about my own music as well. Like it needs a basis and a drum to give it that backbone.
Definitely. And I think with some of the more energetic songs as well, like with more upbeat songs, you need that drive.
Yeah.
You need that
100%.
kick. You need.
It's what you go to a gig for, really. If you're going to sort of like live events and live music, you want that whole ensemble experience. Whereas if you're going for like an acoustic thing, that's more of an intimate, sat down. You don't really want to be dancing.
Yeah, more like a live live.
Yeah. You want to more listen to the songs and really grasp them.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're going out for a good time, you want to band with them.
Yeah, definitely. It's something you can dance to and stuff like.
Yeah, definitely.
You want that energy, especially at like a grassroots level.
Yeah.
Like that, obviously we're still at. Just gonna wait for our visitors to.
Excuse me.
Just gonna wait
Can
for
I
our
help
visitors
you?
to move on.
Yeah, we just revealed this is very
Hiding away in the SU.
hiding in the 24-hour show.
When you do that grassroots stuff, like people shell out, like friends and a couple of fans that you start to get, they shell out, students, graduates, like there's not exactly a huge amount of disposable income, so when people even shell out like £6 to come and see you, like you want to give them more than just like a little bit of a listen, like it's a show.
Yeah.
And that's where that full band I think really comes into its own.
It's what it feels more like. It's a show.
Yeah.
It's not just us performing our songs. It's a show.
Yeah, it's a
We're
show.
performing.
It's giving people a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great way to look at it. Do you have much that you do to make it a show apart from the music? Like, how much thought goes into how you present your performance? Like, how do you how do you think about the audience watching you and what they're thinking and stuff like that?
It's an interesting question, that, I think.
But
it's
how much is it just you're playing your songs or
Well, I think the short answer is a lot.
Yeah.
I think the short answer is it's a lot, and I think you, like I just said, when people shell out even a little bit, to some people £6 isn't much, to some people it is a lot, and when people shell out that amount, £6 to come and see you, you want to. Sorry, excuse me.
Tom, come on, we're professional.
Come on. But when people shell out that money, you've got to think about, you're doing this for them. They're not coming out for you. You're doing this for them, and so you want to give them a show. And you want to give them the best show you can. And the more you perform, the more gigs you do, the more you kind of figure out what people respond well to. And I think that's what we've worked on a lot. And Rob, you in particular, give this a great deal of thought and bring a lot of ideas to rehearsals. So I'll let you talk about that.
It's down to the last minute detail, really. We're still working on it to this day. Like it's an ongoing process. Like
something that takes a lot of work, I think, to really
and it's down to every single last word. It's not like we write a script out there. We have sort of loose ideas of what we're going to say around the song. What stories we want to give. Ways to sort of engage the audience, make sure that they're not just watching us passively. They're part of the experience, and we want to talk to them. We want a dialogue with them. Literally every minute detail, every changeover in the set. We like to make sure there's no silence, or if there is silence, we'll place it strategically so it'll engage them more. Like we want to keep. It's about playing with energy. I've always loved it. Keeping the energy on a high, stuff like that. And especially one of the big pieces of advice that I picked up along the way. I can't remember where I heard it. It might be one of the bands we were performing with. As Tom mentioned, I put a lot of thought into it because I've always struggled a little bit more with being on stage and being nervous and worrying people are judging me and what they're going to think. But the best thing I ever heard was that they're all there to have a good time. No one's there to judge you, and that's sort of why I'm like, we've got as Tom said, you're giving back. You're giving back to them. Really, it's all about making sure the audience have a good time.
Yeah, definitely. So like in rehearsals, a lot of work goes into, like Rob said, changeovers is a big thing that we quite like to do.
Changeovers being like
if every now and again.
Keep going.
If every now and again you've got a guitar change, stuff like that.
Okay,
Can I go for it?
Yeah, go for it.
So if you've got a guitar change over like a couple of songs Rob tunes down, it's much easier to have a second guitar there. Stuff like that. Always make sure you have dialogue to cover it. Changeovers between songs when someone might, if I'm messing around with something, Rob and Ambrose and Miguel, which is the typical band we have at the moment, will just jam along something preluding to the next song, keeping that energy up. It's about, like Rob mentioned, energy, trying to keep the energy up, trying to keep people engaged, because no one wants to go to a gig and fall asleep. You don't want to lose people, you want to keep them engaged. And just
It's one of my favourite things to do. Like before Tequila Sunrise, we have a little one of our songs. We have a little like intro bit, which is it's in the same key, but it's nothing to do with the song really. It's just an upbeat little jam thing at the start of it, which I love doing. It's not, I wouldn't say it's one of my favourite parts of the set, but it's up there. Like I really enjoy doing it. It's just a simple 30-second thing, really, to just engage the audience while Tom talks over it.
I
just little
spout
things.
some nonsense, which I've got quite a talent for doing, which makes changeovers between songs for me as like a frontman much easier.
How much do you think about what you say when you change over? Do you just let the mood bring it to you, or do you have I don't want to say a script, but some people really like think about it.
I think the more the more and more gigs we do, the more and more I do think about it
Yeah.
and plan it out. Like if you looked at a set list from a year ago, it'd just be the songs. Like, and now, if you looked at the set list from one of the gigs we've done in the past couple of weeks, like there are notes in between.
Yeah.
So definitely more thought goes into it. But I think every
Yeah.
idea that I now do and now put more thought into came from an off-the-cuff moment in the previous show, which I think is, for me, the best way to come up with an idea.
Yeah.
Because that way you know what works well and what doesn't. If you come up with something and it falls dead flat,
Yeah.
that's it, it's in the bin, don't look back. But if you come up with something there and then and it works well, like, yeah, do it again, because that's something people respond well to.
It's funny, like, looking back on our previous sets from years ago, like, the dialogue and changeovers would be completely different. Like, you look back on it, I think one of the first ones who did it just say, like, add the what-os, that's probably it. Like,
Yeah, it
all
was
different
something,
changeover.
yeah, something like that. And, you know, way back to open mic nights before we even had a band name, it was, you know, pre-pubescent. Hi guys, we're Tom and Robin, and we're going to we're going to sing some songs that we've written
We really
in
like.
Rob's attic. So we really hope you enjoy them.
Yeah.
And now it's much more thought out, self-assured. The more and more you do things, the more and more you gain confidence in them, and that all helps really. But like I said, I've got a natural talent for spouting, so
Yeah.
I think it's
it comes in helpful.
Yeah, the confidence with your songs as well. To, you know, don't shy away from the fact that you've written something you think is quite good. Not in an arrogant way, but being proud of your work and having the confidence to say that when you like introduce the songs and say this is our song, this is what it's about. And,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a good sign if people are prepared to say how good they think their stuff is. And it's, I guess it's a weird line between arrogance and sort of self-confidence.
Definitely.
Like being self-assured.
Definitely.
But I think, that's definitely, it's not very attractive when someone says, oh yeah, it's alright, when people don't really sell themselves, because it doesn't really indicate a lot of thoughts or passion, or a lot of love in the work.
Yeah, I think that's what we always try to portray, rather than just being like, how good are these songs? Well, like, this is a song we love how it's come about, and the process of how, if that's not for you, that's not for you, that's fine. It means a lot. They do mean a lot to us,
definitely.
a lot of these songs.
More or less every. I mean, every song means something to us in one aspect or another. Whether there's lots of elements of truth, bits of element or truth, or there's a couple of songs which are completely fabricated, just stories really.
They'll be based on like emotional anchor points or feelings.
Definitely.
Which is cool.
But yeah, I think there's something to be said about, like you mentioned, like if someone comes out and goes, this is something I've written, it's alright, I think, let's see what you think of it. You sell yourself short.
Yeah.
And from that, it sows doubt in someone's mind before they've even listened to it. And then that's only going to go one way, I think, and that's, they're going to come away having already been given a preconceived idea about your work, and then they're not going to think, wow, that was fantastic. Because if you don't think it's fantastic, it's going to be so much harder for someone else to think it's fantastic. Because
I've seen a lot of artists come out and say stuff like that, and then after they finish the song, I've been like, wow, have faith in that. Amazing.
definitely.
Go for it. It shows a very high traffic on this.
Very high
popular corridor.
I know, we're like the farmhouse on the M62. Just go
So
back.
put up a Yorkshire flag out here.
It's careful, we're at Uni of Manchester.
I want to talk to you guys about your influences.
Here we go.
Here's the good stuff.
Here we go.
So, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you want to take this one first? Because we influences we have similar interests and influences,
Yeah.
and then we also have our separate influences and interests, and there's a couple that I know you're particularly passionate about bringing to the foreground
We'll
with
be
the British
here all
audience.
night. We'll be here all night.
There's a certain couple of artists and a genre that you like to bring to a wider portion of the British public. So I'll start with you.
Yeah. So, I mean, me and Tom were raised on the same stuff, really. Well, not raised, but we grew up listening to the same stuff. You know, the standard indie, you know, Wombats, Catfish. That's what stuff we were listening to in high school together, and that's what bonded us initially.
Foals as well.
Foals, yeah. So we did a few. We were going to do some covers of those.
Tudor.
Yeah, we initially bonded over that, and a big band that we both really liked is a band called Kaleo. It's an Icelandic band. I hadn't met anyone who'd even heard of them.
No, I hadn't either.
No, but that was a band we really bonded over, and we take a lot of influence from. They're sort of like a blues rock.
Yeah,
Never heard of them.
Yeah, Icelandic blues rock and roll band, but their songs range from everything like some like amazing like almost heavy metal guitar riffs like based on blues scales to there's a couple of songs with
just acoustics.
Acoustic, real minimal instrumentation from the rest of the band, acoustic, folk, finger picking, stuff like that. And that was one we really bonded over.
That was one of the first covers we did. A song called No Good by Kaleo.
Yeah, you'll find it on a lot of adverts.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so No Good and Way Down We Go are two songs that, I mean, they're fantastic songs.
So well written.
From their first album, but they have also been picked up by the sync industry, like, and gained a lot of traction. They're on loads of car adverts, loads of cinematic adverts.
They're one of those bands that you'll have heard but you won't know the name of.
Yeah.
But like,
definitely.
again, like we really bonded over that. That was sort of like sparkling. I was like, wait, you know them too? Which is really nice. And then like as we've been going along, so here we go. I'm a massive fan of country music. My nan has always been into it, so I picked up a lot from her. My parents met through folk music. I've always been into that acoustic side of things. And then as I got older, I just sort of started exploring the genre more and came across contemporary music, contemporary country music. So like Florida Georgia Line, Morgan Wallen, two big bands. As I've introduced Tom to it, you've started really enjoying as well, which
I have,
you.
I have, because I've always been a fan of real acoustic, like singer-songwriter music, like really stripped back stuff like that, and anything with an acoustic guitar in it I tend to gravitate towards. And then Rob introduced me to. I'd heard very vague references to Florida Georgia Line. Was the one act that Rob.
I eased you into it very slowly.
Yeah, very slowly.
I was sort of like, do you like this song? And I didn't tell the band. And he was like, oh, that's quite good. I was like, oh, cool. Do you know it's country?
Yeah, I got tricked, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the more and more I listen to it, and the more and more we've bonded over, like we both really enjoy that genre of music as well. And I think the themes from that genre of music as well is something that we kind of not empathise with, but share the values, themes of the songs from that genre, because a lot of our songs are just about mates, away from heartbreak, going out and having a good time. Like, they're not. I'll be the first to raise my hand up and go, we do not write intensely political songs or anything about socio-political issues.
Well, to be honest, like, more power to you, because I think like enough people are doing that, and to be honest, I'm a bit sick of it, you know. Like,
I mean,
it has its place.
It has its place.
It definitely has its place. I think a lot more people are doing it now because a couple of massive acts who have done it have really taken off. The first that springs to mind for me is the 1975. A lot of their albums are commentaries on socio-political issues and the current state of the world. And definitely, I mean, they do it so well. I mean, obviously, then.
No, really, something's working.
Yeah, definitely. Something's working, and it was when they did it something really new, and we follow politics and all the social issues of the day in our own times, and we talk about that. But that's not
something we
not
to think about.
Yeah, it's not something we really bring into our music, because that's not what we're
It's not our service to people. It's not that we're there to provide.
Yeah.
We want to be more of an escape, I think.
Definitely.
It's something that I think with the country side of things that we really bonded over. There's two things. Sonically, it's all constructed around an acoustic guitar, so it has this rawness that you can also play around with by adding more stuff to it. But it's this acoustic, bright, shimmery sound that we both are drawn to, and again, simplicity in that sense. And it's all around usually the same standard chords, but you don't need anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And then lyrically and thematically, it's all it's real. They're all honest songs straight from the heart. Like, again, they can be simple songs with catchy hooks in it, and you can say the same thing about it's another cliche, but a lot of the cliches they use are cliches for a reason. And it's all real music about real people, and admittedly in southern US, but that's something we wanted to change a little bit and bring into our music, of relatable music for people our age and all over the UK. It's a British experience, really.
Yeah.
Just life. The
And
simple
what
things.
is the British experience, do you think?
Too much drinking, not being good enough with girls.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Just being silly is two things.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
what life's about, and
I think you can see it a little bit through our writing if you look at some songs that we've written from like a month or so ago to I mean age-old Champagne on the Rocks classics, if you will.
if we're going with that,
If we're going with the word classics, but songs we've literally been performing with for years, you can kind of see the evolution of us and us growing up almost, and our lived experience. But the short and long of the lived experience is having fun, making mistakes, drinking too much, getting your heart broken.
It's that whole thing as we wanted to, with our music, drop any sort of sense of smoke and mirrors, or like any image, like what you see on stage, like what you see now, what you see through our social media. I was very tempted to plug it then, but we can do that at the end. But like what you see from us is us. We're not trying to put on a persona.
There's no act, there's no character. We're not a Keith Lemon or Andrew Tate character, or whatever character anyone puts out there that isn't necessarily the real them. Like, it's just a group of people making music that are like performing, having fun with it, and trying to take some people along for the ride. And
And what is success to you guys? What do you want to get out of this? How far do you want to take it? I mean, you guys seem very ambitious, and you're very dedicated to it.
Thank you.
Take that as a
But,
compliment.
but do you think commercial success is something you want from your music?
Sky's the limit, really.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not something I would say, I don't know, me personally, I think it's sort of similar. It's not something we really want. Like, we just want to be able to do what we love and get paid for it.
Yeah.
We're never going to lie, like, money is an aspect of it, and we want to get paid for it, but it's not like a motivator.
No, I think it's less. We're not in it because music, obviously, global megastars can earn millions and be mega rich and famous, and that would all be fantastic. Like Rob said, sky's the limit.
Be pretty good. Be alright.
Yeah, you know what? I think I could cope.
I think I'd live.
I think we'd live.
I think we'd be alright.
If that's where we end up. But the heart of it is success is being able to live off what we love doing. And that's what we love.
We
doing.
want to be we want to be happy and content. Really, is what we want.
Yeah.
I think, and the sort of chasing fame and glory has never appealed to me, really.
No.
I don't think.
I mean, yeah, neither really. The young 16-year-old me would have said yes, I want to be famous. But 21-year-old me is kind of like, yeah, I might pass. if it happens, it happens. That's fantastic, and then we're in a platform where we can, use a massive influence to help causes, people,
I think
further
that's
our own cause.
that's the main motivation really. Is this point is a service. You know, we want to give back to everyone that supported us and said, you can do it and stuff like that. So
yeah, definitely.
That's the motivation, and the goal is really just
the
do
goal
as well as we can.
Yeah, the goal. Yeah, the goal is. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, the goal is happiness and having no worry.
Yeah.
No worry about making a living off of it, really, because I can pretty safely say we're going to be doing this for a long time to come.
You're gonna have to put me in the ground
That's
before
it.
I stop at this rate, honestly.
Yeah, same. Like we're going to be doing this for a long time, whatever. It's just, will we always stay in other jobs to fund that passion? Will the passion get to a point where it can fund itself and sustain us?
Yeah.
If you're asking for the goal is to make a living off it and do that full time. That's a profession.
Yeah. Yeah.
Playing stages all around the UK, Europe, wherever. Awards would be nice, but we're not out for that really. We just want to be able to do it.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
do it to as many people. That didn't come out right. We want to be able to do what we love, and we want to be able to share that with as many people as possible, all around the world, wherever we can reach. Really.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it, to be honest. I think that's the right. Because I think about stuff a lot. Because I talk to a lot of musicians. I want to talk to more musicians in this podcast, but just if I go to gigs and stuff, and I talk to people who their ambitions and stuff with the music. But I think the people who are happier are the ones who have don't see it as a means to an end.
Yeah. Jinx.
That was so insane.
That was just
monosyllabic.
Both of us at the exact same time. Yeah, I think
it's kind of a thing you have to do, for want of a better word. So
yeah,
you're trying to build your life around it, so you can do it, I guess.
yeah.
I wouldn't even say that. Like it's becoming our life. At this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Like,
it is, isn't it?
it's a lifestyle. It is, and it's a commitment. It's a big commitment to make.
It's not a phase, Mom.
I swear.
It's a lifestyle.
But it is. It's a big change. It's a big thing to make.
Yeah,
Because
it
it's
is.
it's a if you graduate or if you've already graduated, whatever. It's from the get go. It's a 9 to 5 job.
Yes. Yeah.
You are doing music.
Yeah, it is. There's not a day that goes by that me and Rob won't text or call about something. And if a day does go by, it's normally because I've disassociated from society and I'll go missing for 3 days.
And then a bank will have built up and he'll have like 20 text messages being like, by the way.
Yeah.
And then we go through it one by one, figure it all out, and
just some sort of dysfunctional episode.
But there's not a day that goes by, I don't think, that either of us don't think about it.
Oh yeah. Do
do
something towards it, even if it's not in direct communication with each other. There'll have been something that we might have talked about last week, or worked on in rehearsal the other day, or we've had an idea and then we've talked about it, and then one of us will take it away and we'll work on it. So yeah, I think you're spot on there. Not a day goes by where we both don't do something, work on something else, work on something more, think about something, have ideas.
Yeah. Well, you have to.
Exactly. Otherwise, you got to milk the cow till it's dry, really.
Yeah, you do.
Let's use that one, didn't you?
I don't know, until the well stops giving water. Like,
That'll do. I like that.
What's like an average sort of daily routine in your lives?
Well, we have no routine at this point. No, it's
routine is a tricky one because there isn't an awful lot.
well, we had a settled one a couple of months ago.
We did.
So every other Monday, I would commute back to Leeds to write with Tom, and then every other Monday he would come over to Manchester. That was a routine, and then we had a call every Friday to sort stuff out, and then in between that, we'd all be doing certain stuff. Like I've got a little timetable worked out. I think Tom's got a little diary where he keeps stuff written down.
Yeah. The stuff.
So when we're not in gig mode, we
Yeah.
we have quite a consistent system that's been working for us.
Yeah.
But gig mode, which is what we've been in recent. I mean, I think in the past month or 5 weeks, we've done 3 gigs, which for us is like quite high volume.
Yeah.
I don't think I've eaten a vegetable in the past like 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie. Your routine goes out the window before you know it.
It really does. Like, there's a reason my car is peppered with meal deal packets. My car's like the tour bus, if you will.
Yeah.
Just get everything around and stuff. So recently there has been no routine. It's hard, especially because we both work similar but very different jobs.
Yeah.
Rob does bar at the Ritz and 42s, which is a lot of night shifts.
Yeah.
I work in hospitality and run events. Man United, that's a lot of day, a lot of night, and I commute between Leeds and Manchester doing all of that.
So you work at? Do you work? Do events at Man United? Do you work on the bar with that?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I run bars for events.
Do you know someone
and match
called
days.
Ryan? A guy called Ryan.
I'll be honest, there's like 7,000
Oh,
people.
right.
at Old Trafford. That's a.
Didn't realize the team was that big. Oh god.
I may know someone called Ryan. I may have come across someone that's called Ryan, but
Yeah. Oh, well,
Ryan, if
well,
you're there,
friends,
I may have seen you.
yeah.
Sorry if I don't remember you.
He'll be listening. Yeah. He'll be
please,
crying. He'll
yeah,
be crying.
please, come say hi and I'll give you a hug. But yeah, so routine is definitely difficult, especially because we both graduated,
Yeah.
and obviously music is what we want to do. It's what we are doing, but at this level, it doesn't run itself,
Yeah.
fund itself.
Yeah.
We have to fund it.
Yeah. Some of the most frustrating things are like, when people ask what you do, explaining, no, I'm not a bartender, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
Bartenders pay the bills and the music.
Yeah.
So it's quite
Yeah.
not frustrating, but you have that conversation a lot.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, however much anyone would like to refute it to one degree or another, money in this society does make the world go round, and at this level of music, there isn't a lot of it. That's not the reason. It's not the reason you do it. And if you're lucky enough to get picked up by a major or be some sort of industry plant, then all creds to you. That's going to come in from right off the gate. But for most people, that's not how it is. It's certainly not how it is for us.
No.
You know, it's scrabbling together enough to pay for rehearsal rooms.
Yeah, but it never feels like.
But it doesn't feel like a chore, does it?
No, and it's never felt like a payment. It's an investment.
Yeah.
It's the way we've always looked at
Definitely.
it. Every single bit of money that we've spent, maybe we've spent some stupid stuff on pints or tequila or something after a gig, but I can pretty safely say that every bit of money we've spent has been to further the band interest and has got us that little bit further. It's one step at a time. It's been one extra practice to make us sharper. It's been one extra fireball shot at the end of the gig to do the post-gig ritual with someone new, to involve the community and stuff like that. Making people feel welcome.
Yeah.
Like me, I bought a new guitar recently. That's been great on stage.
I'm fixing my guitar, which is costing a fortune because it's knackered.
Yeah. Videographers.
Videographers. We worked with a friend.
photographers.
Yeah, we've worked with loads of friends who've done, loads of friends who do photography, videography, production, recording, all of that. There's not been a single person that we've worked with on a creative process that hasn't been just a colleague or just a contact.
Yeah.
Which is another great part of what we do. We get to collaborate with friends and make music and make content for what we love doing.
And every bit of money we've spent on that has been worth it.
Yeah, 100%. 100% it's worth it.
Yeah, an investment. I think.
What's this you were saying about this fireball rich? I can't not get into that.
It's ever since our first gig.
It is since our first.
Very, very first gig we played.
Was that just? I can't remember why we picked it. Why did we pick it at Porto?
I think I've been drinking it in summer,
think
and
it was
I
something-
discovered I really liked Fireball, and I was like, Tom, try
It's
this.
fucking nice.
It's really nice, yeah.
It's so good.
Cinnamon.
I know, it's cinnamon whiskey. Like, I love cinnamon.
You drink it
I'll put
straight.
on everything. So yeah, and we did that at Porto. Another shout out to Porto. But yeah, we did that, and then we kind of just made it an every show thing. After every show, we'll go and do a shot of Fireball. bit of a celebration, it's a bonding thing. It's a bit of a, you know, when we were doing gigs, just the two of us, it was a bit of a brotherhood thing.
It was.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah, still is.
Still
but
is.
now there's more of us.
Yeah.
Including, you know, including partners in it, you know, girlfriends, including friends in it, including family in it. My mum's done it.
Yeah, your mum's done that, actually, yeah.
My mum's done it with us once.
I forgot about that. Yeah, she did. Yeah.
That was actually downstairs here. After
Yeah,
we
it was.
After we
Pretty
played
impressive.
Yeah, we played one of the times we played the Club Academy just downstairs. We came up.
Yeah.
It's also really good for us as after we get off stage, because once you get off stage, you'll know this. Like once you get off stage, you have this adrenaline that runs through. You know, you're coming off, you're shaking, you feel like you're on top of the world, and then it's a big thing chemically. I was reading up on it recently. When you get off, you know, that adrenaline floods out your system, and you drop again. You know, your chemicals crash, and I think it's been really good for us coming off and then being sort of revitalised. You know, we've been including friends, as you said, friends, family, and everyone in that ritual, and being back around people who you care about and who care about you, and
Yeah, definitely.
doing something like that really sort of brings your energy back up and brings
and
you back in the room, really.
Yeah.
Brings you down from cloud 9.
Yeah, and just stops the shakes.
Yeah, it stops the shakes, it really does.
But yeah, it's something silly. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, it was, you know, after that first show, it was holy shit, we were nervous, and holy shit, how's that gone? Like.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah. Thank you.
Like, you know, oh my god, like so nervous, so nervous.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I need something to calm me down, and we did it together, and then the same.
Yeah.
You know, the same. The next gig, did it again. Next gig, did it again, and then it. The kind of, you know, it just became a bit of a tradition which we really like, so ever since then we've just kept on doing it.
It's one of my favourite points during the night, apart from being on stage obviously, but it's when you have everyone together, like, you know, everyone you care about, and you're all there and present, and it's something that everyone is involved with, you know, you don't leave anyone out.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. It really does put you in a better mood and brings you back up. It's really nice.
Yeah.
That was very wholesome, wasn't it?
That was so
very wholesome.
Yeah, just finding ulterior ways to express that we're actually minor alcoholics.
Yeah, essentially. An excuse to drink.
Yeah, especially at this age.
Yeah, honestly.
Graduate life is difficult.
It's not the one.
No, I kid. It's just something really nice to do that keeps us. That's always kept us bonded and together, and no matter who else is at a gig or what we've got going on.
Don't say the basis of our friendship is Fireball whiskey.
No, it's not.
It's the only thing that's kept us together all these years.
No, I was gonna say, like, no matter who comes to a gig, if it's friends, family, partners, no matter how well or not so well a gig is done, we always do it, and we always seek each other out to do it.
Yeah, it's quite funny. You'll see me be like, Tom, and they'll like pop up like a whack-a-mole from the audience.
Yeah.
Like,
it is. It's a thing, especially now. Especially since we've been doing the full band. What's very common is we can get the 3 of the 4 together within about 60 seconds.
Yeah.
It will take another 15 minutes to get 4 of us together.
Yeah, it's always like one
because
of us
you'll go and
wanders
find
off.
someone else, and then someone else will go, and it will just keep going around like a revolving door.
Yeah, like Miguel will
But we
wander
get
off
there.
somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Or I'll wander off somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, but it always. In the end, we get there.
Yeah.
In the end, we get there. But yeah, that's the Fireball. If you're watching.
Yeah.
Fireball UK.
Sponsor this.
Drops a message.
They have reposted us a few times.
Yeah, they have.
They've actually.
We've had minor
genuinely,
interactions.
we have
Really?
very minor interactions.
It's like a
with
like
whoever
on the
runs.
story or a repost every now and then.
So whoever runs Fireball's Instagram, we see you. And
We see you.
love
We like you. We love you.
You should look into that.
Yeah, we're trying. We're
Get them to sponsor you
Yeah.
for something. I don't know.
buying more of their product.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
But yeah.
I'll tag Fireball in this.
Please.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Definitely the person that runs the account is like, who are these guys?
Yeah, 'cause he just-
Why do they keep tagging me?
Every time you just keep popping up. It's like, who are you?
Who are you?
I'll find and I'll repost you.
It's like I buy like two boys from Leeds. It's like, I don't know who you are.
It's probably just a pity thing, but you know, we appreciate it.
We appreciate it. It's nice. It's like you'll see me like when it's like, don't let me post it.
Yeah, literally.
So you guys went through uni at Manchester, both together. If I'm correct.
So
More or less.
yeah, both in Manchester,
Yeah.
different unis.
Okay. How was university for you guys?
Best 4 years of my life, really.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah.
COVID was
Yeah.
horrendous,
Yeah.
as I'm sure anyone who
Yeah.
watches, listens to this will be able to agree with. COVID basically robbed anyone who went to uni in that period of 18
Yeah.
months of their
Yeah.
university experience for
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
reason, which was rubbish. But the whole uni experience, meeting people, being able to further chase down and do what you love at uni, invaluable 3 years really.
Yeah.
When I say best, I mean they weren't great 24/7. Don't get me wrong at all, but it was such a life-changing experience. I'm not the person I was when I came into uni. We were
Oh
talking
my
about this the other
God,
day,
yeah.
actually. Yeah, like,
Yeah, we were.
and it's not just the fact I've grown up; it's the experiences that I've had through uni of meeting different people from different backgrounds. You know, having to work for myself. You know, not having my parents there to kick me up the arse when I'm slacking, and yeah, having to do that myself. You know, going through different things. You know, heartbreak and
Yeah.
different losing friends, making new friends. Like the whole thing just changes you as a person. It really
Yeah.
does. Like I'm quite glad for it. 'Cause it does make you think in new ways, and it does sound like a cliche, and it is a cliche. You know, you find yourself at uni, but you really do.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, for me, exactly the same as Rob. I am so far from the person that came to uni.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
my god! Like, if you saw if you met the me who came to uni, like Rob can testify, it's so different to who I
Yeah.
am now.
How do you guys think you've changed?
I weigh much more and have longer hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm a lot more confident than I used to be. I was a shy kid. I think
Yeah.
Tom's seen this, especially as we've gone through stuff with the band.
Yeah.
I've always had some level of not social anxiety, but being really shy and worried about what people think of me, and you know, I've never been that confident in a lot of aspects, but being at uni really changed in that. Like, I'm a lot more mature now. You know, I will think things through more rather than just reacting to them like I used to. And that's purely come from experience. You know, it's not like something you can read up on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what Rob's touched on there is sort of similar for me in a fair few aspects.
Yeah.
But I'm much more mature than I was. I was a very immature 18-year-old when I came to uni. I'll be the first to hold my hands up and say that.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Immature
my God.
how? Or just,
Yo.
Well,
we really don't. I mean, you're joking, but we really don't have time for the list. But I mean, in so many ways, and being at uni and doing music at uni as well, which is what I did, taught me the value of personal relationships more as well. Like working with people and making friends, but then being able to work with those people, like, makes you appreciate people so much more, and like how amazing people are.
yeah, definitely
Makes
with
sense.
that, like, especially as your friends really, like, for our experience of uni and everything we've been through in the past 4 years, really, but together we've been through quite a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, that's not to say no one else has, but like we were very lucky to have our support networks there and our friends looking out for us. And I think what we've both learned is, you know, the true value of your friends being there to catch you, not just there to be there for everything, but to tell you, you know, don't do this, or you're being silly, or you know, you're better than this, or you shouldn't do that. You know, having true friends to be there for you is something.
And we wouldn't be where we are now without music if it wasn't for true friends.
Not at all.
The amount of like proper friends we have that turn up to every gig, rain or shine, no matter where it is mental. And like we're getting to a point now where we're getting a few people who, you know, aren't our friends that are seeing us and coming back to gigs, which is fantastic, and we love every single one of those people. But to have those friends to start you, you know, when you do your first gig, you've got no one knows who you are. It's only your friends that will come.
There's nothing more reassuring than looking out in the audience
And seeing those.
just seeing one or two, even just one or two faces smiling back at you.
Yeah, definitely.
Means the world.
Definitely.
Really does mean the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing, friendship. That's really what separates us as mammals from other creatures.
Agreed.
It's
Agreed.
the kind of, you know, you look at a dog's eyes, there's something there that connects us, you know. There's something weird about being a mammal.
Affection.
But it's
That's
a very,
so
it's a really weird one. It's a really weird one.
Yeah.
But I think that's I mean, it's what comes down to really is friendship.
Yeah. But the other thing that we can take away from uni is all the extreme experiences, positive and negative, have given us lots and lots of material to write nice new songs with.
That's something that, like, you know, if we're on the subject of it, we're big on talking to people and making sure people talk and stuff like that. And as we've gone through uni, like, I don't know if I want to turn to the camera here, it's very dramatic. Like, you know, well, but for like anyone that's struggling through uni, like, you know, you get it drilled into you. Uni's amazing. You'll find your people. You'll fit in. Those are 3 things you go with in your head. That's not the case for everyone. It certainly wasn't the case for me. And you know, there are going to be bad points. There'll be the lowest of the lows. You also experience the highest of the highs. Even if it is low all the time, you know, you learn stuff from it. And it's not the easiest experience. In fact, it's one of the most difficult things we've ever done, I think.
What I slightly think about uni is you just got to take it for what it is. Because some people have a really amazing time at uni, and just it's like a dream come true. But it's not necessarily that's going to happen to you. It doesn't mean you won't have a great time, but the way I've viewed it is like, in a day, it's like, it's 3 years, you have some, you know, maybe have some great times in that, but I don't know, we've got this kind of sanctity about it.
It's idealised.
Yeah, it's very idealised.
Very idealised. And there is this sort of expectation that you'll come to uni, find yourself, be happy, find your group of people.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's like you know, for people who are struggling finding friends, you know, I had great friends throughout my experience. I was really lucky.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that didn't, and I know people who found their friends in their 4th year, maybe even in their masters. You know.
Yeah, well, I remember because for those that don't know, Rob's a year older than me, but we both graduated the same year because Rob did a 4-year course with a placement year.
Yeah.
I just did a 3-year course, so we graduated at the same time. But Rob had already been at uni a year when I moved to Manchester for uni. And unfortunately, and it's not anything against the guy that I got put in a flat with, but in first year I got put in a flat with one other person who was a final year engineering student, completely different interests, completely different types of people who I just really didn't know, but then it was horrendous, and I'd been in my halls for just over a week.
Yeah.
And I hadn't spoken to anyone else. I hadn't even spoken to my flatmate. I'd not had a conversation with someone else in over a week. And Rob texted me and said, "Do you want to go for a drink?" And we came here.
Yeah, we did.
We came here, and it was the first time I'd come to the SU and stuff, and came here and was like, "How you doing?" I went, "Honestly, mate, rubbish.
Yeah.
Really, really, really not good."
Yeah.
I got no, this was because I moved in before pre-freshers as well, so I went, "I've not met anyone yet. The living situation is no me gusta."
I don't like for anyone who doesn't study Spanish.
Fortunately, I have someone who studied Spanish and
I remember this.
got a first-class degree.
It's Spanish, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Story for later. But
Yeah,
sorry, I won't interrupt.
He's even managed to slip it into one of the songs.
A couple, yeah.
Oh, really?
But yeah, you were having a mare when you came for that drink.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really was. I was having a really, and through no fault or anyone else's fault of my own, but just circumstances dictated that. Right then, I was having a really terrible start to uni. Yeah. Unfortunately, my uni through freshers events, and on the first night I met 2 of my best friends who I then went on to live. then live with in second and third year.
I remember saying to you, stick it out.
Thank goodness for that. Yeah, you did say that because I was ready to go back home.
Yeah, you were.
Really?
No, honestly, I was ready to go back home. I'd spent a week and a half living completely isolated, not talking to anyone, not knowing anyone in a brand new city that I only knew from my childhood when I'd come with family. And I was so ready to go home and skip out on freshers and come back for the first lecture.
Yeah.
And Rob said, look, just stick it out.
Yeah.
And I did, and lo and behold, here we are 3 years later, and it all turned out pretty alright.
Yeah. Not half bad.
Yeah. Got a few more questions on Ice Guys before we
course.
go. Unfortunately, I just had 2 pints and I just go for piss. So we'll cut this bit out.
Yeah.
I'll just go for
I'm not
piss.
gonna lie, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna join you because I've been bursting for
Yeah,
15
yeah.
minutes.
Can I come as well? Because I'm also bursted.
Right, okay, right.
We'll stop.